Hello, everybody. It is MattyIce once again, and I'm gonna make a video that hopefully will not be as long as the tier list videos. Basically giving the reasons why I am trending down on the 1-star swings and why I do not think they are worth drafting when you're trying to draft a team. Now, apologies in advance for two reasons. One, the audio is going to be quiet. I'm at my house. My microphone is an old Turtle Beach headset used back when Xbox One first came out. So I'm sorry, I'm not at Duro's house to where he has a nice microphone, a better setup. So sorry for that. And what makes that worse is that we don't have the goats. Bella is not here, so apologies for that. But she's still there in the bottom left where I decided, instead of just showing like a full image webcam of me, I decided to replace my webcam I'm recording right now on top of an old stream I did. So enjoy this gameplay where this is me getting the world record for Mario Superstar Baseball. So that way it gives you guys something to watch while I kind of explain my reasoning for the 1-star swings. And it also is kind of fitting because the speedrun in general utilizes a lot of the 1-star swings. So you'll see a lot of these land though because the CPUs aren't too good at fielding them, and plus their pitching is very easy to line up, so star hits are pretty much guaranteed in the speedrun. But anyways, so getting into this, I'm going to first go over the pros as to why the star swings are good. I'd say the biggest pro for the star swing is that outside of boost slap hits and power hitters hitting home runs or gappers, it is one of the only ways you can get doubles in Mario Superstar Baseball. Since every hit, majority of the time, is a single, a star swing, if hit properly and aimed properly, can find the gaps along the left field line and right field line, and those can land for doubles. Even sometimes if you have Yoshi in left field, if he cuts it off with his tongue, because he has kind of the recovery time of the tongue and his throwing arm is kind of bad, you can still leg out a double that way. So that, I'd say, is the biggest pro for the star swings, is that you do have double potential with them. Next pro I have for the star swings is that I think if you are down in the game and you have the stars to use, if you are trying to lead off an inning, let's say if your majority of your batting order, your best run production, which is the middle of the order, already passed through, maybe you had a star swinger behind your last heavy, I think it's a great way to lead off an inning to try to make a comeback. I think it's worth using the star to try to get the single, kind of start a rally going. That way you can loop back around to your top of your lineup to where your heavies can drive in all those runs. And lastly, I think the last pro for the star swings is that I think they're good to use for 2 outs, because the biggest con for the star swings is because they can get caught by middle infield and kind of have some double play potential. I think if you have runners on, especially second and third, 2 outs, say you strike out with your heavies or you fly out and you couldn't get the runs across your heavies, and you have your Paratroopa or Magic Koopa or whatever star swinger batting right behind the heavies, you have 2 outs and you need to cash in those runs, I think it's worth burning a star then to try to be able to drive both of those runs in and kind of either increase your lead or possibly tack on or try to make a comeback that way. But other than that, that's the end of the pros for the star swings in my opinion. Now I'm going to start with the cons, which is why I'm kind of never drafting star swingers anymore and kind of getting off the bandwagon of a lot of people liking the star swings. First, I want to get off to character-specific traits of the star swingers. I already went over this in my tier list video kind of as to why I don't necessarily like Noki, Dry Bones, or Paratroopa anymore. In regards to Toadsworth and Magikoopa, I think they're both perfectly fine characters still. I'll use their star swing in certain situations, but I'd mainly draft Toadsworth for a singles bat, and I draft Magikoopa for his defensibility at third base. So only certain situations I'll star swing with them, but just like a side note, like I'll still draft those characters, and if the situation presents itself, I will use the star swings on them. But back to the three main trio core of star swingers that most people think of with the 1-star swingers. With Dry Bones, I'll go ahead and start. He doesn't play the field, so he's dive range is awful. He's a liability on defense. His singles bat is good, but his bat reach sucks. And if you want to use the star swing with him, it can be hard to reach for the outside pitches with him, which I feel like could cause a lot of burned stars if you want to go for the Dry Bone star swing. and he doesn't get as good of lofts compared to the better star swingers like Magic Koopa and Toadsworth when hit properly. So that's why I don't really draft Dry Bones anymore, even on a Bowser team. As for Noki, obviously you guys know I had my blue Noki propaganda. Um, I'm not necessarily high on blue Noki over green really anymore. I think it's nice to have a Star Swing option with green Noki if you choose to draft her, but the loft she gets on her Star Swing hit is awful. It's definitely the outside of Boomerang Bro, which you rarely use a Star Swing with Boomerang Bro. It's definitely the worst of all the star hitters. So that's just asking for pretty much an auto out unless you aim it perfectly. And but Noki's singles bat kind of sucks, and the fact that her Star Swing is the worst doesn't really increase her value too much. You mainly just draft her as a body because she can play a good outfield because she has, well, if you play her blue, Noki, 7 speed. Majority of the time you're picking green, so only 6 speed. And she has a good diving catch. She has nice range on it. And she gives value to PM. It just, you basically draft Noki as a wasted, well, not necessarily wasted slot, but to enhance PM if you so happen to get on base with Noki with like her slap hit, or if you choose to burn the star with Noki. And then lastly, Paratroopa, easily my most probably hated character in the game right now. A lot of people like Paratroop a lot. They value him, and he does have great qualities. He has the great throwing arm. He gives you 6 speed in the outfield. His dive sucks. His dive is awful. He gives Bowser Kim, but I'm trending down the Bowser team as a whole, but that may just be a whole other video for another time. And I don't like his slap hit. The way he stands in the box, and this is definitely a me problem. Like, this isn't necessarily a good argument, but this is just for my personal playstyle preference. He's just awkward to control in the box. He covers over it. It's like he leans so far over the plate. It does give him good bat reach, but just like the way he holds the bat and the actual length of his, in terms of like the visual, like not necessarily the bat programmed hitbox, but the visualization of the bat is just very awkward. So I just don't like Pear as a singles hitter. And as I'll say later on in the cons, I don't like burning the stars. But so that's basically why. Basically, those characters that have the star swings, they don't give me any other value to draft them necessarily besides Noki to enhance PM. Besides, they give you a 1-star swing. Like, that's pretty much the only value that I feel like I see in them or that other people see in them. So they don't give me anything else to offer, which is why I don't draft them in the first place, which helps me give my reason as to why the star swings are overrated. So now that I got those individual characters out of the way, I'm going to go to my cons as to why these star swings are overrated, and I think the meta could possibly shift towards not necessarily drafting all of them, or mainly just making sure not every star swinger sees the game, pretty much. So, obviously the biggest, well, not the biggest con, but the first con for me is that you have to use a star. You have to use a star to use it. And you can only have up to 5 stars in a game, even if you want a star chance and you have a full 5 stars. You can't, like, overload them, so it's not like you can just keep racking up stars. And using a star on a swing that's pretty much going to be a single every time, it's not worth it. Yes, as I said in the pros, it can land for doubles. But the way the high meta, like how good players are now with pitching and how good of fielders there are with Madge at third base, Birdo shortstop, just great dive ranges and jumping catches to sort of prevent those nasty perfect hit star swings to land for doubles. It's just the execution, it's too high for like how good of the meta is right now with players. So majority of the time, if it goes through, it's only going to be a single, and you have to burn a star to do it. Whereas if I have 2 stars, I can use 2 stars on a Birdo egg on a Bowser team if I need more RBI production that way. Birdo can give me a great extra base hit potential. Yes, the Birdo egg can get caught by the middle infield just like the 1-star swingers, but more often than not, it gets past the infield, and if it does, it more often lands for doubles and scores 2 to 3 runs compared to a 1-star star swing by any of the 3-star swingers. So that's like my biggest thing is I hate using a star on something that's only going to give me a single when a slap hit can do just the same thing. And like, and say if I want to do a hit and run with a slap hit, I can score 2 runs that way from second base, even if even if the opponent has double laser, because I can get a perfect steal, just do a slap hit, and I can score 2 runs that way, and I don't have to burn a star to do it. And that kind of ties into another con I have with the star swings is that when you swing, they get hit too hard. You get so much velocity on the hit so that if it doesn't land for a double, you're only scoring 1 run out of it. If it goes right to the outfield, the ball comes at them so fast, and especially if someone has laser, you're never going to score more than 2 runs. Even if you do a hit and run, it's very hard because the ball gets to the outfield so fast, and then most of the time DK's at shortstop or Pianta second base. Whether you hit it to left field or right field or center field, it's going to get thrown to laser. The outfield fields it too fast because the ball comes at them, and then they get the ball in, and then you're only scoring 1 run. Whereas a slap hit with hit and run potential, you can score 2 runs that way. And if you're still doing that, I'm going back to this, you're burning a star to use it. So that's another con as to why I'm not valuing the 1 stars. And the biggest reason I'd say with the cons of the star swings is that they are an inning killer. If you get your first couple runners on, you have 0 outs or maybe only 1 out, even bases loaded, but just like first and second, or even if you just get like a leadoff double with like a nasty boost, like a nasty boo hit, and you get him at second base. If you burn the star to go for the star swing, and the pitcher pitches to contact to where they make you get weak contact, and it kind of goes at a very low trajectory towards Berto, DK, any other competent second baseman, then it's a double play. Because the ball's hit so fast, you can't go back in time. Whereas, say with a regular slap hitter, if you can tell that ball is going to get caught, because it's traveling so slow, it takes the fielders longer to catch the ball. So because of that, you can avoid the double play by retreating immediately. Whereas, because the star swing is hit so fast, if it goes right to your infield and they catch it, it's a boom boom. It's a double play, like guaranteed. And then all of your momentum you had was 0 outs. You got your first couple runners on. You're trying to work through the bottom of your order so you can lead back around to the top of the order. Next thing you know, you get a double play, and then you're either out of the inning because you already had 1 out and then the inning's over, or you're at 0 outs and your run threat just went from having 2 outs, maybe you still have a runner on third or a runner on first, depending on how the double play worked out, and then your top of the order is coming up with 2 outs and your run threat's gone. Your big threat inning's gone, and then you have to wait to the next cycle of the batting order to kind of start a threat again. So whereas I would just rather take the single hitters and just go for singles and kind of keep a single train going that way. And even better yet, say if I do draft some more singles hitters towards the bottom of my lineup, if I have like Diddy Kong, if I'm having to use Diddy pitcher, or if I have Toadette in right field, like mainstay, like iconic, these bats suck, everyone knows they suck, I would just rather go for the sack bunt and score runs that way. I'll trade a guaranteed out for a guaranteed run, so to say. Because if you go for a star swing, you can't necessarily guarantee the run because it gets caught by the middle infield and then double play. So to say, now you get to 2 outs, and you maybe still have that runner on third. Well, now that there's 2 outs, you can't sack bunt anymore. Maybe you're coming up to the plate with Toadette or Diddy Kong, or insert any other primary defense player here who doesn't have a good singles bat, and now you can't even get a run in that way because you have to go for the single because you have 2 outs, and if they field the bunt, they can just throw it to first, and you can't score the run. So basically, overall, the run potential, or not necessarily potential, but expectancy. I know I'm saying that wrong. I just find it lower because throughout my games, like when I first joined the club, or not the club, but the competitive community, I was following the Dinger Cities meta by the book. Like there was time, like when I first joined, I was doing Birdo Yoshi 2-3 pick because that was a thing back when I joined near like kind of the beginning of season 6. And then even when all the 1-star swingers, back when Green Noki was like super highly rated, like borderline top 15 character, I was picking the 1-star swingers. I was picking Green Noki and I was using them. And it's like I was using them because they had the 1-star, but when I'm actually doing the 1-star, I'm not getting the results. Yeah, I'll get my singles here and there with them, and rare occasions I'll get my double every so often, but I wasn't getting the runs that I feel like I could have been getting if I was just playing smarter baseball. So that's why towards once season 7 started, I started kind of detracting from how Dinger City played and kind of trying to build my own sort of meta within back when net play was first starting to get rampant with golf mode first getting introduced, and now we have Rio. I was going for hit and runs, just going for slaps, kind of abandoning the star swings. If I had Magic Koopa, I'd still star swing if the situation called for itself. Like maybe I had 2 outs and I had nothing to lose if I go for the star there. So, and through this process, I noticed that characters like Mario and Donkey Kong and Birdo, their captain star swings are just such high value to score multiple runs at once. And that's the key in this game. Unless you hit a home run, it is very hard to score multiple runs on one single hit. And for me, the percentages of using a 1-star swinger like Paratroopa, Bones, Noki, and even Madge, it's just the odds for me, it's like more than 50% because my opponent's going to have a great middle infield because Wario's great with his range at doing sliding catches. Birdo has the suck. DK's just a giant hitbox and has a good dive range. I'd say the easiest middle infielder to get a star by is Pianta, but even then he's not necessarily no slouch. But that's my reasoning. If I can just burn 2, like I'll have teams where I'll primarily draft DK Birdo on the same team. Obviously Captain Birdo because it's just better value. But I don't mind using 2 stars on a banana. Like say I've saved up 5 stars. I don't mind using 2 stars on a banana to kind of continue a rally going, or maybe lead off a hit with DK, and then I still have 3 stars left, and I have Captain Birdo, and I land the egg there. Then I still have 2 stars left. So maybe later on in the order, when Mario comes up, the Fireball can score 2 or more runs that way if it gets through the infield. It's just I feel like you get greater runs with the Captain Star swings, and it's not worth burning a star for the 1-star swingers when, to me, majority of the time they get caught. And if they do get caught, there's a very great chance it's going to get double played because the ball's hit too fast towards the middle infielder and they can just immediately throw it to second base. Or say if you have a Magic Koopa at third base, if you pitch it outside to a star swinger, kind of force them to push that ball towards that left field foul line, Magic Koopa can just jump and catch it, and then if there's a run on third, tag third base, and that's a double play that way. It's just compared to DK and Birdo mainly, especially, is my argument for this. Even Mario to some extent, and even Yoshi, as long as your opponent doesn't have Birdo, I feel like Yoshi's Star Swing is still plenty viable. I just feel like Birdo's the best at countering Yoshi's Star Swing. So if my opponent doesn't have Birdo, I'll if I have Yoshi lead off, I'll crank out a Yoshi Star Swing to lead off the inning. Even though it costs 2 stars, it's a very high chance of a single as long as my opponent doesn't have Birdo. And then it's just, I'm more comfortable getting runs that way. So I hope this kind of explained my reasoning as to why I don't necessarily like the 1-star swings. It's just, it's not worth it in a game where it's hard to score runs as it is. And it's just, the biggest reason for me, it's an inning killer. And that's, if you get double played, it's like damn, like, well, there went that inning, you know, kind of thing. So that's pretty much it. It's just star swings, I feel like they get caught more often than not, can easily double play, whereas I can pretty much get the same job done with a slap hit, like slap hitting and hit and running, which, yes, that can double play. Like if you slap hit, if you try to go for a great hit and run, perfect steal, you slap hit and it gets caught, by the middle infield. That's a guaranteed double play as well. So in situations like that, depending on the opponent, I may just be more comfortable just string slap hits together, and then when a nice situation comes up for it, go for a Captain Star Swing, even like a Wario Captain Star Swing of 2 outs. I love Wario's 2-star on 2 outs because you don't have to risk a double play, and it can clear the bases if hit properly, and the garlic's that nasty. So that's pretty much it. Pretty much stars, yeah, they can land for doubles, but the odds of that happening are so low with how good players are nowadays. I just don't think it's worth it. You have to burn a star to use them, and it's just Captain Star Swings, I think, are the meta right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope that kind of gave a better, clear explanation as to why I don't like the 1-star swings, instead of, you know, mentioning them in a tier list when I'm talking about a 1-star swinger, or me in the Discord channels talking about, oh, like, this is why I don't like 1-star swingers. I just want to make a video so there's a nice one place to watch it, like, nice, you can go to this as to why, okay, these are Matty's reasons as to why he doesn't like the 1-star swingers, and this is his logic behind it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all heard me out. Lastly, I'm not necessarily saying like this is how, I'm not going to say this is how you should play. I'm just going to present this as this is how I've been playing. I've had a lot of success with it recently. If you still see the 1-stars the way you do, that's fine. I'm not going to keep, I'll like have discussions about it, but I won't necessarily go on full like, okay, this is argument, you're wrong. I think I'm just presenting this as my case, and maybe this reasoning and opinions helped sway your viewing of the game, and maybe you can take what I said in this video as to kind of maybe use it through your own gameplay, and maybe you like it. Maybe you're like, okay, this is working out a lot better for me. I'm glad you brought this up. You made some good points. I decided to try it out, and you know, I like doing this. So that's basically my goal of this. But if you like the 1-stars and the characters and what they provide, then I'll let you have at it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching. The speed run in the background's also over. So thank you all for watching. This has been MattyIce, and I'll see you guys next time for whatever new discussion happens, and I hope you all enjoyed.